Good morning, students. How are you all? Fine. Okay, very good. Students, now is the session of business studies. As usually, it happens every day at this time. And in the previous sessions, I had started the new chapter, and that was directing. You know, after completing the chapter, planning, organizing, staffing, we have come to the next chapter, and that is directing. Already we have discussed what about directing. Directing in fact is a force. Directing in fact is an action through which the efforts of existing employees are diverted towards achievements of the predetermined organizational goals and objectives. So, why directing is required and what is directing already we have discussed. And also we have explained that there are four elements of directing which are called supervision, motivation, communication, and leadership. Already we have seen that directing in fact is the sum total of supervision, motivation, communication, and leadership. And management is said to be in action when it performs directing function. Okay, students, till now, till here, we have discussed much in detail. Today, in this particular video session, let us start the next topic, and that is the importance or the need of directing in an organization. So long as the importance of directing function is concerned, it can better be understood with some of the important highlights, such as, first of all, you can say that directing function of management initiates action. Initiates action means what? It means unless directing function is performed by the managers, the concerned workers and employees cannot perform, cannot work as per plan of the organization. Okay, till staffing, the employees are appointed in the organization, but as soon as they are appointed, they need instructions, they need guidance, they need orders, they need leadership, they need communication from their respective superiors, from their respective officers or managers. And unless an employee is guided by someone, unless an employee is instructed to do a particular thing, particular work, there the worker cannot perform. So you can say that it is directing function of management which initiates actions of the employees in the organization. Okay, students, the next one is directing integrates employees' efforts. In an organization, the jobs of all the working employees are not equal, are not same. And since the jobs of all employees, all workers are not same, are not equal, therefore their efforts are also not alike. They do different efforts they make to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. The sales manager performs the job of sales. The production manager performs the job of production. The marketing manager performs the job of marketing, and the finance manager performs the job of finance. Thus, directing is that function through which the jobs, the efforts of all the workers and employees are integrated or synchronized in a systematic order. That means through directing function, coordination is established throughout the organization. It integrates employees' effort. Okay, the non-performance of one individual in any organization will affect the performance of many persons in the organization. Thus, it is very important to keep a constant eye on the activities of each and every one and to give them guidance as per requirement. And it becomes possible only when the management performs directing function. Okay, students, the next one is directing is the means of motivation of the employees. Since workers and employees are human beings, therefore they also need encouragement, they also need inspiration, they also need a stimulation, they also need energization, they also need motivation. And unless somebody is motivated, he or she cannot perform better. So motivation in fact is a lubricant, and a lubricant to stimulate the employees, to inspire the employees and workers to perform better. Directing function of management involves motivation of the employees also through financial and non-financial incentives or through monetary and non-monetary incentives. Thus, we can say that it is directing function of management through which the workers and employees of an organization are motivated towards better and better performance to achieve the predetermined goals and objectives of the organization. Okay, the next one is directing facilitates necessary changes in the organization. As we have seen that always there are changes in the internal and external environment of business, and the good management of any organization always keeps a constant eye on the changes taking place in its environment. Okay, and the good managers are those who bring about the necessary changes in the organization just in accordance with the changes taking place in the environment. So, from this point of view, directing is that function through which the managers in fact convince the employees and workers to accept the changes or to adjust, accommodate themselves with the new changes taking place in the organization. So, accommodating with the environmental changes, coping with the environmental changes is not possible without cooperation of the employees, and the workers and employees will cooperate management in bringing the changes, in initiating the changes, only if they are motivated, only if they are encouraged, And this encouragement, motivation, guidance, instruction, etc. are the important elements of directing. Okay, students, the next important highlight towards importance of directing function of management is that it creates a balance in the organization. Balance in what sense? Balance in the sense that if directing function is properly performed by the management, then there can never be overperformance and underperformance of any department or of any individual in the organization. Okay, suppose there is excess production, then it will result in loss to the organization because the production has taken place more than the sales. And if you think over this situation, you will find that it has happened in absence of directing. If the managers perform directing function properly, then certainly there will neither be a problem of overperformance or underperformance. Thus, through directing function, the management can create a balance within the organization. Last but not least, through directing function, it becomes possible to ensure optimum utilization of available resources, available organizational resources. Okay, so from this point of view, directing is important. When we say the optimum utilization of resources, then it means the best possible use of resources. And until the resources are utilized in the better way, in the best way, the organizational goals and objectives cannot be achieved. So, as students, we can say that through directing function, the managers guide the employees, the managers divert the efforts of the employees, the managers inspire and motivate the employees, the managers supervise the activities of the employees, the managers provide a solid leadership to the concerned workers and employees. And all these, when are done in the organization, then certainly there will be optimum utilization of resources. Okay, so students, today I have discussed the importance of directing function of management, and again I would like to discuss this topic in online class, but I would like to give you a suggestion to go through this topic in detail in something better way from your textbook. And till then, I would like to say thank you very much.